The biggest brands like Elementor, Hostinger, Target all temporarily update their homepage hero section during the sale season. And just that simple change can boost the clicks and engagement by up to 40%. So during the sale period, people don't visit your site just to browse. They come for offers, maybe deals or values. And your hero section, it should instantly tell visitor that yes, the sale you're looking for is live. So in this video, I will show you exactly how I flipped a regular homepage hero section into a high converting sales banner using XPro Elementor Addons. So first thing first, make sure you got both the XPro add-ons free and the pro version installed to create this banner. Okay, now I'm just going to delete this old section on my homepage so you can see exactly how I build the new one from the scratch. So let's drop in a Flexbox container. I will use a 2-column layout, left side for the main content like headline, button and trust text, and right side for the hero image. Add a little padding around the container so it can breathe. You never want your content stuck to the edge. Then let me just quickly add a subtle color to my main container. And done. Now let's start with the headline, the most important part of your hero section. So drag in the XPro Elementor's advanced heading widget. So what's cool about this one is that it lets you style two parts of your text differently and even add a subheadline, separated text and description all inside one widget, which keeps the page light and the design clean. So I will enter the word Friday in the title center field. That's the part we want to style differently. Then I will add black and sale in the before and after field. So if you ever want a single word to stand out like Friday here, just place it in that center title field. Alright, now first turn off any elements you don't need. I like keeping just the main heading and one supportive subtext. Now style the title. I'm using a bold modern font. Geologica works great here. Then I will increase the font size so it really grabs attention. But I would balance it by adjusting the weight so it doesn't look too heavy. Then I would style that center title however I like. I will keep the center title's typography the same as the main title, but I will make it just a bit more prominent by giving it a slightly heavier font weight than the title. Now, to make it really stand out from the rest of the heading, I'm adding a stroke and setting the text color to transparent. Nice. Already looking good, right? And by the way, every widget that I'm using in this hero section has its own full step-by-step tutorial. So if you want to learn any widget in the detail, click on the playlist and watch the full tutorial for that one. Anyways, getting back to our headline. So your hero headline should always be clear and short. It should instantly tell visitor what's happening here. Now I feel like I want to set my heading to uppercase. It will give a stronger and more structured look. And another quick thing, I will set the line height to around this value and align the text to the right. This way it looks way more put together and balanced. Now let's quickly set our subheadline. So you can write any short line here that gives a bit more information. I'm adding up to 50% off because come on, it's a sale, right? And that discount figure is what really grabs attention and makes people want to click. All right, let's style it the same way. Head over to the style tab, change the font and size, and pick a nice color. I'm going with red because it fits perfectly with Black Friday theme. You can of course use any color that matches your sale vibe, like it can be red, black, yellow, or even a mix of them. So I'm done here and pretty much this advanced heading widget has handled everything in one go. Okay, now right below my main heading, I would drop XPro Addons button widget for the CTA because that's what actually drives the click. Okay, so for the button, do not use those generic text like click here or learn more. For a sale banner, your button text should be clear and direct. I'm writing grab the discount here because that's the kind of text that actually gets click. Add the link to your sale page or landing page. Now head over to the style tab and start styling it. First, adjust the typography, pick something that matches your headline style. Then for the background color, keep it bold and strong because this is your main call to action. So I feel the button always look better when they're slightly rounded, right? So go to the border radius and give it a smooth oval shape. Okay, I feel that it's a bit flat, so let's add some padding to make it look bolder and more open. Much better. Now I want this button to sit right in the center, so I will go to the alignment setting and center it. And one last thing, don't forget the hover animation. That small interaction really makes a difference. It gives your button that nice clickable feel. Okay, now, it's always a good idea to add a micro trust text in your hero banner. See this. I'm dropping a new container below the button, and I will make sure that its margins and paddings are set to 0 so there is no unnecessary spacing. Now inside it, first I will add a text editor widget. Okay, one more thing, let me just confirm that this container is set to the row direction. So the next widget that I add sits right beside it, not below it. Now the next widget I will drop in here is the XPro Addons counter widget. And done. Okay, so in the text editor, I will write any short text that says something like, people already trust this brand. And to, support this kind of text, I like to use numbers because I believe people tend to trust numerical data more than the plain statement. So in the counter widget, I have added the number I want and removed the extra info I do not need. So you can turn off the counter animation if you prefer, but I like keeping it on. It gives that dynamic moving feel to the number, which is exactly why I'm using a counter here in the first place. Alright, let's style it in the Style tab. So you know the drill, adjust the typography, size and weight, and make sure the text editor uses almost the same font and size, so both elements look consistent and not like separate pieces. Let me just capitalize it. Okay, so for the final touch, I feel the gap between the number and the text is a bit large. So I will go into the container settings, reduce the gaps to 0, and then fine tune it until it looks balanced and perfect. Now let's push it to the center. And done. Alright, so we are pretty much done with our first column, and that's almost what we needed here. Now let's move on to the second column, my favorite part, the visuals. So instead of using a plain image widget, I'm going with the XPro Addons image masking widget. This one instantly takes your image design to the next level. So here you will choose your main image. This could be your hero product shot or something that clearly shows your brand's vibe and personality. Okay, now come down to the image masking option, and this is where things get fun. You will see a bunch of default mask shape here. You can apply any of these shapes to your image and it instantly gives your visual a unique creative look. Way more interesting than a regular square image. And here's the best part. If you want to use your own custom shape, you can totally do that too. Just ask your designer to create a custom mask for you, upload it here and use it directly inside the widget. Then just adjust the position of your mask to fit perfectly on your image and set the resolution to full and done. That's how easily you can create custom shaped hero visuals without using Photoshop or any other external tool. Okay, so I'm already liking how my hero banners look, but don't forget it's a sale season. And for that, we need something that adds a bit of excitement and urgency. So watch this. I'm going to drop a new container above this section and give it a nice background color. Now inside this container, I will add our secret weapon for any sale season, the XPro Addon countdown timer. See this? That ticking clock instantly creates urgency and a little FOMO. And trust me, this one small detail can boost click and conversions. You can place your countdown anywhere in the hero section, but in my design, I'm adding it at the top, like a slim bar sitting above the main content. And next to my countdown, I'm gonna drop a heading widget as well to make it clear what the timer means. See, again, the words I wanted to stand out, I put them in the center title. So let's quickly style our heading first. Done with the heading, now let's set our countdown widget. So in the countdown setting, choose what you want to display, the dates, hours, minutes, and even seconds if you want that fast moving feel. Then under the time option, set the actual end date for your sale. This tells widget how long the sale will run, and when the time's up, the timer will automatically stop. Next, choose how you want the countdown elements arranged, like side by side or stacked. Then style it so it catches the eye but still matches your site overall vibe. Play around with time, label, backgrounds and color until you get a clean, balanced look. Okay, so the heading and the timer are not aligned. No problem, let's just go to the heading, advance, and let's push our heading to align itself in the center. Now, you see how the bar looks a bit thick? That's because of the timer's height. So let's fix that. Set both the height and width to 0. See? Fix. XPro Addons widget gives you the flexibility to customize your design however you want. You will never feel restricted. Perfect, our urgency bar is ready. Okay, so we are almost done, but let's add one more cool detail. You see during the sale period how brands show little extra perks like money back guarantee, free shipping and limited stocks or etc. And these small lines can really grab attention and convince people to take action. And for that, I like to use XPro Addons text marquee widget because it's a really smart move to highlight all those perks in one continuous motion without distracting from the main offer. So you see here my hero section is completed and that's the main message done. And from here, the rest of the page content starts. So to create a little visual break just to separate the hero from the main content, I would add a text marquee here. Let me just pick a container, set it to the full width and set its margin and padding to 0. Drop in XPro Addons text marquee widget and see how it's giving a dynamic feel. Let me just give it a bold color so you can see. See that? It makes the transition feel smooth and intentional. Now inside the text area, I will add all my sale benefits, something like free delivery, money back guarantee or 24/7 support. Now let's style it in a clean, minimal way. I like keeping the typography almost the same as the rest of my hero section so everything looks consistent. Also, I'm not a big fan of that bold outline look, so I will just turn off the stroke and set the text color back to black. Much sleeker now. Okay, but right now the marquee looks a bit squished, too thin, right? So to give it a more balanced look, I will go into the main container setting, adjust its height to my desired value, and then center the text vertically. Nice, looks way more structured now. And since the marquee still feels a bit plain, let's make it pop just a little by going to the container setting. You can add a subtle background or even a light shadow, just enough so it stands out without stealing focus. Alright, let's hit publish and see how it looks. Okay, so I can see my marquee appears when I scroll, but I actually want it to show above the fold, right on the hero section. Also, I noticed it stayed empty for a while because the content inside is too short. So let's fix that too. I'll go to the content tab of the marquee widget and simply duplicate each item 2 times. That way the line stays filled and keeps scrolling smoothly without any long empty gaps. And just to make it look a bit more natural, I will shuffle the items around in a slightly different order. Now see, much better. The marquee feels continuous and lively now. And as I said earlier, I want this text marquee to run above the fold inside my hero section, so we'll fix that too. And I also noticed that there should be a bit of space between my 2 columns. It will make the layout look more structured and balanced. So here what I'll do, I'll select my main container, set its bottom padding to 0. See, that automatically moves the marquee upward. Now to create some breathing space between the 2 columns, I will increase the column gaps to around 80. Perfect. See how clean and balanced it looks now. Okay, so a little thing. Well, this one is totally optional, but if it's a festive season sale like New Year or Black Friday, you can always add some fun elements. Here's how I do it. I just randomly drop an image widget anywhere on the page, pick a nice festive image, then go to the Advanced tab and in the positioning section, set it to absolute so I can move it freely anywhere on the page. And then just adjust its position where I want it. And just like that, with so little effort, I have created a nice festive touch on the page. Let's hit publish and see. Beautiful, your hero banner is done. It looks modern, dynamic, and perfectly ready for your sale. And hey, of course, make sure it's responsive across all screens, the desktop, tablets, and mobiles. I have already handled that behind the scene, but if you're not sure how, check out our videos on making Elementor pages fully responsive. It will help a lot. So that's a wrap on our Black Friday hero banner. Now go ahead, install the XPro Elementor Addon and its Pro version and follow these steps to create your own sales banners that's ready to grab attention and boost conversions. So if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification on so you don't miss any more helpful videos like this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next.